that great God will come from the sky and take away everything and make everybody feel high. But if you know what your life is worth, you would look for yours on earth. So know you see the light. I'm begging you to stand up for your right. Oh, yo, say get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Come on, say get up, stand up. No, no, don't give up the fight. I beg you, get up, stand up.
Greetings. In our time, we're seeing and witnessing the rise of Africa, the African continent, that so-called sleeping giant. We're witnessing our people finally ruling their destiny once and for all, putting an end to modern-day slavery and exploitation of Africa. We have seen several assassinations since 2020. Now we're at front row at the wind of change. We stand in solidarity. I stand in solidarity with Burkina Faso, with Niger, Cameroon, and every oppressed nation of the African continent. What are we doing here in the region? Let us stand with Africa. The same thing that's happening in Africa is the same that's happening all across the region. We stand with Africa. We stand with those who want to be free, because we know we are not free here in the West. Yes? So we desire the freedom of all Africa, because if Africa is free, then the black man is eventually free and will be free. These are the words of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and all of our freedom fighters. Celebrate this day when the African continent is finally losing its chains, both mentally, physically, and economically. We salute you, Maluma, and all the fighters, Tuare, and all the good fighters, Babi, and all the good fighters who are fighting for freedom and liberation, because your freedom will ultimately determine our freedom. Once Africa is free, we're all free. My people in the region, witness and take note. The time is now.
Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your contacts. Thank you. The other thing that the Rastas have contributed is from income from ganja, the exporting of ganja. In the I'm going to say in the 70s and 80s, 90s, and even up to the early 2000s, the ganja income from ganja that came into Jamaica. I'm talking about Jamaica. I know about Jamaica. Has been substantial and has helped in the Jamaican economy a lot. Houses, and when the ganja dried up, then the building of many of the construction and houses and so on. You go to Jamaica, you can see it. Houses, unfinished houses, when the ganja income, when mainly the United States was successful in drying up the ganja income. The producers, small farmers and small ganja producers, and ganja production and Rasta generally in Jamaica, it's a small percentage. I should have said this from the start. I don't know the exact percentage, but it's a small percentage of Jamaicans. And contrary to what many Jamaicans believe, most Rastas are outside of Jamaica. I think they say that the country that has the most Rastas the country is South Africa. I think the population of Rastas in South Africa, even more than in Ethiopia, there is a video, and from a good source. I've been looking for it because I made a segment and mentioned it in, I'm going to say, in one of the early videos that I made two years ago. that the number of Rastas in South Africa is more than 3 million, which is larger than the population of Jamaicans who live in Jamaica. But the ganja industry and its contribution to Jamaica, the small people who grow the ganja, small percentage of Jamaican farmers, because the percentage of Jamaicans who are Rastas, I don't know what percentage, but I know it's small. I don't know if it's maybe 10% of Jamaican population. But the people who grow the ganja, mainly small black people, the people who are involved or were involved, and still is, but not to the same extent, are other races. The other races in Jamaica, for example, one of the biggest banks in Jamaica, the family that owns it, and all of these businesses are owned by other races. And that is why we have to not get control of these governments. And it's happening in Africa, and to a smaller extent and to a lesser extent, but it has to happen. In bank and big business in Jamaica, it's other races get the ganja, export the ganja, and they get the money and they use it to buy business and do big business and so on in Jamaica. The majority of Africans, whether it's in the music, entertainment, I shouldn't be saying the majority, but a lot, they earn the income and we blow it away. We consume it, spend it buying stuff and living big life and letting the money go back to the other races. That is why I believe that even reparation, we shouldn't get cash in our hand. It should be used for long-term investment, buying houses, education, and particularly to plant and to grow business so that we can achieve economic equality with the other races. Economic equality, I like to use that term because it's measurable. Equality, income, my training and work experience and all of that stuff before I retired is in economics, development economics. So I know about measuring things, and income can be measured. The race of different people can be identified and the income measured. So equality or inequality, in the same way that economic inequality is measured all over the world, then the equality can be measured also by race. And the African race need to have economic equality with the other races, meaning that our per capita income, not the poor, we can't remain the poorest. The 10 poorest countries per capita, poor people, 10 poorest countries most of them are in Africa, the continent that has the most resources, natural resources. The richest continent in terms of natural resources has the most poor people, which are changing little by little. The Sahel, those 3 countries, and hopefully others will join and change Africa and African people, continental Africans and diasporan Africans, so that we are no longer at the bottom of the economic pyramid, but that our average standard of living can go up and become equal, at least equal to the other races of people. Okay. remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your contacts. Thank you.
Phone, this phone in its settings tells you how far it has to be off of your body to prevent cancer. It tells you if you go to your settings to general, you scroll all the way down to legal and regulatory. Who knew this was in the BOWs? Do you see it?
I'm in it.
Legal and regulatory, click it. The very bottom one says RF exposure. That stands for radio frequency exposure. And then it tells you, mine is on the second paragraph. This must be 5 millimeter separation off of your body. It's about a pencil eraser. So they're covered when you get brain cancer because you put your phone to your head.
I always speak on speakerphone.
You bet you do. Distance is your friend with radio frequency, with electromagnetic fields. But they just came out with a study. It just literally, the further this is away from you, the better. We're seeing a higher rate of testicular cancer on young men because they put their phone. Get your phone out of your pocket. Get it away from your testicles.
That's crazy.
Yes, right? And so back when these were smaller and women put them in their breast, we saw breast cancers the shape of that lithium battery in there. This is radioactive. So you get it off your person. You speak on speakerphone with it, right? You don't put it up your head. You for sure don't have it on your head driving down the road in a metal tube where it's having to work super hard to find a cell signal.
Wow.
So it's putting out more electromagnetic field.
Somebody's from Strathmore University here. We were holding a discussion about artificial intelligence at Strathmore University. And I said this, I said I'm a disruptive thinker. And I said, okay, you are IT experts. Who's IT? You are spanner boys and spanner girls for Google. Yeah, because you are not in control of the technology. So you may be doing things you have said, oh, cloud. Whose cloud? Are you in control of the cloud? Today we are all on website. Whose website? Who is controlling that website? A church here can be turned off like this. So in order, and this is the Pan-Africanism that I'm talking about, let us appropriate that technology and begin to control it from Accra. The Chinese have done that. Weibo, TikTok. But we have not. We are still gleefully Google, cloud. You can be switched off like this. My Twitter account. That's not your Twitter account. Elon Musk sitting in Seattle can do it like this and you're finished. But what our IT at the university, I want to hear that there is a collaboration, because right now, Professor, you know, within East Africa, we have university, you vice chancellors meet, both in Kenya and in East Africa. In West Africa, it's the same. I want to hear that one of the things you are talking about now is IT, because we are going into the 4th industrial revolution, the 5th industrial revolution, and we are talking artificial intelligence. But are we in control? Are we in control of the drone technology? We are just consumers without being in control. And
Hold on, know that it's time to be strong. Let's all believe in the future. Together we can move on. Raise up your voice and be heard. Calling every generation, all over together. Whoa, whoa.
today, information is still important. Even more important, this is the information age, and we need to have our own internet platform, and on that we can have the social media platforms and websites and so on. We need to have at least one, starting small, like growing a mango tree. We plant the seed and it grows over time, gets bigger and bigger, and that is crucial and so important. I just want to mention briefly that I did talk about this in more details, I think, in an earlier episode. I think it was episode 10 of the Black Economic Network, where I introduced the ADDI. I think the ADDI is the most suitable umbrella organization under which we can develop this internet. And it already has a sector to deal with. ADDI already has a sector. ADDI, the Afrikan Diasporan Development Institute, already has a sector that deals with information and technology. And we need to cooperate instead of trying to start our own organizations. We cooperate with organizations that are already established and are spreading Pan-Africanism and also the improvement of the African race wherever we are. We need to join these organizations or work with them, cooperate with them instead of trying to form new separate organizations. Drop our egos and individualism and be more cooperative. I will, in future episodes I will go into more details on my suggestions and alternatives about how we can plant and grow this internet and internet owned and operated mainly by Africans and diasporans. I will go into how we can finance it into more details. Honorable Marcus Garvey showed us the way, putting our small contributions together, our limited resources, pooling our limited resources to finance and to build things more. And more recently, President Obama showed us in his campaign for president, of his successful campaign to become the first African president of the United States of America. This small contribution, millions of Africans and their cousins from the other races who supported President Obama put their small contributions together to make him successful as the first African president of the United States.
I have one question for you, all the Pan-African family. As we all know, the African stream have been banned from YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram in a synchronized manner at one time. This comes after the accusation by the Foreign Secretary Antony Blinken. They are now active on TikTok and only on X.com, or formerly Twitter. My question is that what should the Pan-African media platforms should do in a coordinated manner so that they can, forge, or they will not live in a fear of one day their platform also will be censored or removed? Really, what is the way forward? Please throw any ideas that you have in the comment section. This will really help us. Take it as a research, okay?
Well then, I grade. Me need ya, hey, I need some herb in my brain. So bring the medication for my brain to heal the whole of the nation from the pain and break up all the circles and the chains. I need some meditation in my brain. So bring the medication for my brain to heal the whole of the nation from the pain. Break up all the circles and the chain. Hey, no, this could never be no man killer. Good for my head, so me call it as the man healer. When me ill, me never need a painkiller. It's quite exciting, me call it as the man chiller. Give me good man, so me not think illa. What a inspiration, fit on a sound killer. Feed the pagan, me spark it like a 9 miller. Fi fight the liquor and the coke, ganja and the pillar. That's why me need some herb in my brain. So bring the medication for my brain to heal the whole of the nation from the pain. Break up all the circles and the chains. I need some herb in my brain. Bring the medication for my brain to heal the whole of the nation from the pain and break up all the...
Financial success is the main ingredient of long-term happiness, but it is not the only ingredient. Money is not the only thing that make a person that a person needs to be happy or contented. But a normal person cannot be happy without money because it is essential to satisfy our basic human needs. We should not spend all our time working for material success, or we will become workaholics and have no time for other important activities in life, such as recreation with family and friends, as well as helping them and others, such as doing community service. My favorite motto is, balance is the key to a good life. Business ownership is the main source of financial independence for a person and for the economic independence for a community. In almost every country, most of the upper middle class and rich people are those who own medium-sized or big business and those who inherit wealth from business. This is because in a capitalist country, business is the main generator of money. It shows itself most clearly in many professions where a person can choose to be an employee or start his own business by himself or in a company. For example, a doctor who works in a public hospital throughout his life will remain poor or barely reach the lower middle class. However, his schoolmate who entered private practice will at least reach the upper middle class and maybe become rich in his lifetime.
Let 6, if you're a mom and you've bounced back and you're good with fitness and you're good with your diet, you know you can monetize that. A friend of mine recently started a postpartum coaching company, teaching women how to get back in shape after having a baby. I know for most of us, that's not priority one after having a baby. But if you're someone that got to a point where you were like, I'm ready to lose this weight, you did some workouts, you ate in a certain way, and you have a formula that works, you could actually start coaching other women to do the same thing. There's a lot of demand for that, especially for mothers of color. So if you're a woman with this plug, take up this space, girl. We need you. Number 7. I'm one of those women who starts getting ready for Christmas in October. And one of the things that I want to have at my Christmas party this year is handwritten name cards. And I paid money for someone to write all my guests' names on cards. Now, granted, the Christmas market might not get you to the big bag, but you know what will? The wedding industry. Yes, yes. People spend a lot of money on their weddings, and some of that money goes to wedding invitations. So if you're a calligraphy girly or your handwriting is pretty and you know you can make a business out of this, get on your Zoom. Get on your Zoom, girl, because there's money to be made. Number 8. You can launch an online food store for your specific type of food if it's hard to come by in the area that you live in. So, for example, if you live in, I don't know, Wisconsin, and it's hard to find Caribbean food, I don't know this for sure, I'm just using this as an example, you could be the person who launches the business that serves your community in that area. For example, recently, a good friend of mine launched an African food store because it can be really hard to get African food delivered within Texas, and not everyone wants to drive all the way to the African food store to get their meat pies and their malt and their plantain chips. Like, don't nobody got time for that. Like, if you can order it online, you would, right? So you could be the person that offers this service. Remember that I'm rooting for you, so please do not stop rooting for yourself. And until next time, please take care.
Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your contacts. Thank you.